Hello and welcome to the ComSpark magazine interview series. My name is Rob Schmittauer with Parallel Technologies. We are partnering with ComSpark on these series of interviews, and today I have the pleasure of talking to Chris Sibila from CNG Holdings. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and your IT experience?
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I'm excited to be here and talk with you today. So I've been in technology, payments, product management type roles for a little over 30 years now. I grew up in technology as a programmer long ago with Fifth Third Bank and have been in financial services type companies my entire career. More recently, in executive level roles like this, where I've been CIO of a couple different companies, and I've been with a regional bank in Fifth Third. I was with Citibank for a while, a small community bank, a credit union, and now with CNG. So I've hit the gamut of all kinds of different financial services companies, which gives me a really interesting perspective and career. It's been fun to go through this journey.
Yeah, we deal with a lot of CIOs, as you can imagine, and I can tell you your background is pretty unique in the sense that you have that, I guess, call it well-rounded experience. So that has to help you.
Yeah. It's every time I've taken a new role, a lot of what I've learned from all the different things has served me well. So it's always a new challenge, but it's been great. Been with CNG now for a little over 6 months.
So if you don't mind, could you talk a little bit about the businesses that operate under CNG Holdings?
Sure. So CNG Holdings has three main businesses underneath it. There's a subsidiary we call Access Financial, which is more of our lending subsidiary, and it has a couple consumer-facing brands, as Check and Go and Allied Cash Advance, which represent 650 some stores across 20 plus states in the U.S. We also have a leasing business that's called Tempo, and that's really related to people that want to buy durable goods of some sort. Could be tires, could be a new HVAC system, it could be a sofa, a refrigerator. Sometimes a leasing option is a better way to get to the ownership of that product. And then the third piece we have is called SmartPay. And SmartPay is tied almost exclusively to the cell phone business. So we work with companies like TracFone, Metro PCS, helping people, and that's more of a rent-to-own model. So similar to maybe what a lot of people do, sometimes they get the phone service, and then they get the phone bundle, and they pay for it over time, and it's a similar model to that. So all those, so we cut across a lot of different verticals, if you will, but the consistent piece with our company is it's been around almost 27 years, and it's always served that one of our owners described it, there's that 20% of folks that have like prime credit that every bank and credit union is trying to get. There's a bottom 20% of folks that just either don't want credit or just not credit worthy in any way, shape, or form. And then there's that 60% in the middle that don't have really great access to credit when they need it. And that represents over 100 million people in the US. So as I come into this role, that's really stuck with me, that we're an alternative for a lot of people. When you read all the case studies and they talk about people that don't have $400 sometimes to deal with an oops because their car breaks down and stuff, we're there with these different entities to help people when that happens, because you get a small dollar loan in a pinch when you need it. That is more often than not a lot of the folks that we work with.
That's fantastic. Well, with that many business subsidiaries, how do you allocate the IT responsibilities between corporate and the subsidiaries?
Yeah, so when I took the role, I came in at the CIO level for CNG Holdings. But as I came in late last year, we actually were very disparate in the way we approached IT. We really had the Access subsidiary really operated separately from the Tempo and SmartPay subsidiaries. So part of the reason that they wanted someone to come into my role was to bring it together and truly find synergies across those entities, because we've literally created two sets of development, infrastructure, everything was just separate. So as I've come into it, and it was in March that we more formally brought it all together under my umbrella. So I worked in the access side for a bit, and then got familiar with Tempo and SmartPay with broadcast. So really, we're only a little over 3 months into the journey right now, and the process I've taken is we are focusing on all the infrastructure stuff that should be like IT operations and all the things we do to keep the applications running, the help desk, the break fix, all the things you think of, the behind the scenes stuff, that we're centralizing that and already seeing a lot of savings. And looking at our contracts, right? Your Microsoft agreement, your AWS agreement, just consolidating those in and of itself has been a cost save. And then we get people working across teams and sharing information. So I've been focusing on that. But when it comes to supporting the business, I've left our engineering and development resources separate. We all three have slightly different platforms, as you can imagine. We've got different platforms, different technologies that are supporting those businesses. And it's real important that each of those businesses can have their dedicated resources to get the work done, the priorities done, the enhancements, the new products to market. So I'm keeping it that way for the foreseeable future. The only thing we're looking at is, can we have some consistency in the way we code, the platforms we're using, some of those kind of things, but still allow for the differences that are important for each of those lines of business.
So you haven't been bored since you started.
Yeah, it's been, I do have to say I'm pretty fortunate having been at all the places I described. It's an incredible group of people, very professional, very, I haven't come across too many duds in our organization. That may sound terrible, but sometimes you'll go across, you'll be like, okay, there is a lot of solid talent in our teams that are driving and executing every day, every week, and in an agile mentality. Every 2 weeks we're churning out new work, getting deployments in every week, every couple of weeks. So a great team.
Yeah, that's awesome.